We all know the story by now. Zion Williamson suffered a knee injury after his sneaker ripped in half when he planted his foot. The injury sparked a massive debate in the sports world, but one thing that was agreed upon universally was that it was wrong for anyone to make fun of Williamson's weight. However, what if we consider Charles Barkley's advice from a deeper perspective? Watch this video for the full gist. First up, Charles Barkley is fed up. Charles Barkley seemed fed up with the New Orleans Pelicans star Zion Williamson's fear of discussing his favorite Thanksgiving food, and he wants it to stop. Charles Barkley has always been known for his outspoken opinions, and this time was no different. He had some strong words for those making jokes about Williamson's weight, claiming that it was never okay to pick on someone for their size or shape. It's not just about sports. His comments apply to everyone. Zion Williamson is a rising talent in the NBA. Zion is back this season and playing at a high level after a rough few seasons of battling injuries and other things. He isn't quite at his 27-point-per-game average from his sophomore season, but Zion is still playing well for a New Orleans Pelicans club that is hoping to make a playoff push this season. However, the conversation about Zion Williamson has recently centered on his weight. When asked what his favorite Thanksgiving food is, Zion declined, claiming that he would be trolled for it. Many people expressed their sadness that the narrative and bullying surrounding Zion's weight had rendered him unable to answer innocent questions. Zion has received the brunt of mockery for his weight and body throughout the summer while healing from a foot ailment, a period he admits was difficult for him. But now Charles Barkley, who was frequently questioned about his weight while playing, has offered Zion some advice. Charles Barkley has never been one to sugarcoat or satisfy others. He expects players to be scrutinized to the fullest degree, as seen by his remarks on Kyrie Irving. So although he offered Zion some sound counsel, it might also be labeled as harsh love. Given all he had to go through to get over that dark period, it's unsurprising that Williamson was careful with his response. Barkley is renowned for keeping things real, and he has done so in this instance. While it's heartbreaking to witness Zion Williamson struggle with how he's portrayed, the trolls are unlikely to stop. While NBA fans must do better when it comes to trolling and bullying, the only way Williamson can silence the detractors is to ball out and succeed, which he is on course to do. However, Barkley pointed out that Williamson cannot allow others to have such authority over him. He told the Pelicans player to be mentally tough and not allow the chatter to get into his head, since, at the end of the day, words don't define who he is. The NBA legend observed that Williamson has to get in shape, but not to escape mockery. Instead, Barkley is worried about his health, underlining that he can't keep getting wounded, since his body isn't going to recover at some point. Next up is the impact of jokes about overweight people. It's important to remember that these jokes aren't always harmless. As Barkley himself thinks, everybody needs to take a deep breath and realize that there are real people involved when one makes jokes. These jokes can be particularly damaging for people who are already struggling with their self-image and body image. Furthermore, these jokes can reinforce negative stereotypes about overweight people, leading to discrimination and bullying. The bottom line is that everyone should take care when making jokes about someone's weight. Charles Barkley's advice serves as a reminder of this, and it's important to keep in mind the real people behind these jokes. It's essential that we work together to create a more positive atmosphere where everyone feels accepted and respected, no matter their size or shape. The first 100 games of Zion Williamson's NBA career have been a roller coaster ride. Zion Williamson started his 100th NBA game with a bang. From electrifying dunks to demoralizing injuries, it's been a wild ride for the former Duke star and the New Orleans Pelicans. But through it all, Zion has shown flashes of brilliance, and there are plenty of lessons to be learned from his early experiences in the NBA. As the New Orleans Pelicans defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder 105-101, Williamson ended with 23 points, 8 rebounds, and a career-high matching 8 assists and 3 blocks. Williamson's milestone game has been a long time coming. It has been 1,042 days since his debut on January 21, 2020, due to ailments that have wrecked most of his career so far, including missing the entire 2021-22 season with a foot injury. On the other hand, Williamson claims that his time away from the court has made him a better person. "It's been a long trip," Williamson remarked. Following his victory on Monday, he would not have preferred that the voyage had gone that way. He wishes he could have participated in every game. However, at the end of the day, he was pleased he went through it, as it helped him learn a lot about himself intellectually, spiritually, and as a man. He considers that, in order for him to achieve 100 games eventually, he is under 3 coaches. And this is the first year that the locker room has had a similar appearance in terms of players. What he can take away from it is that it is nice to have stable people around him today. With 100 games under his belt, here's how Williamson's start to his career compares to the all-time greats. Hint: Zion is in some historically illustrious company. Williamson has a lifetime scoring average of 25.2 points on 60% shooting. No player in the shot clock era has ever averaged such figures in his first 100 games. In fact, only Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin McHale, and Wilt Chamberlain had such statistics over a 100-game stretch in the shot clock era. Williamson is the NBA's 12th player to reach 2,500 points in his first 100 games, with an exact point of 2,524. He's the first player to do it since Michael Jordan, Chamberlain, Walt Bellamy, Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, George Mikan, Rick Barry, Elvin Hayes, Elgin Baylor, David Thompson, and Billy Knight were the others to pull it off. Thompson and Knight both began their NBA careers in the ABA. Except for Knight, all players have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Also, he's an incredible dunker. Since Zion Williamson entered the NBA, it's been a roller coaster ride. He's been both praised and criticized for his remarkable athleticism, play style, and conditioning. But after 100 games in the league, there's one undeniable fact. Zion Williamson is an incredible dunker. Williamson's dunks have become a consistent source of awe and amazement among fans and analysts alike. Whether it's dunking on top of defenders, making a highlight reel alley-oop, or throwing down a monstrous tomahawk jam, his leaping ability, explosive first step, and body control make for some truly spectacular plays. His athleticism has even earned him the nickname Human Highlight Reel. Williamson has scored 20 points in the restricted area in 42 career appearances. Zion Williamson isn't just an incredible dunker, though. He's becoming one of the best players in the NBA. No other player in the previous 25 seasons has made their debut 10 times in their first 100 career games. Williamson has 1,898 points in his career. He isn't the first player in the previous 25 seasons to score that many points in the paint during a 100-game stretch. He has 54 career games with 25 points and 50% shooting, which ties him with Abdul-Jabbar for the second most in the shot clock era. Only Bellamy has more. Williamson also has at least 10 points in 98 games. Only Joel Embiid with 98 games and Blake Griffin with 99 have made their NBA debuts in the previous 25 years. In 83 of his first 100 games, Williamson scored at least 20 points. That's the most for any player in their first 100 games since Jordan in 1995. Lastly, he has the potential to be a great player. Zion Williamson has had a wild ride in his first 100 games. From being drafted the #1 overall pick in 2019 to suffering multiple injuries throughout the season, he's had a roller coaster career so far. However, despite all the adversity he's faced, he's shown us incredible potential. In his first 100 games, Zion averaged 23.6 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 2.2 assists per game. These numbers are extremely impressive for someone just starting out in the league. He also demonstrated a remarkable ability to create shots for himself and his teammates with his powerful dunks and drives to the basket. While Zion is certainly not the finished product yet, there's no doubt that he has the potential to be a great player. His ability to make plays and score at will is something we don't see too often in the NBA and could potentially take his team to the next level. His physical gifts also make him incredibly difficult to defend against. He has the size and strength to overpower opponents and the agility and quickness to beat them off the dribble. This gives him an edge against most defenders and makes him a nightmare for opposing teams to deal with. All in all, Zion Williamson's first 100 games in the NBA have been a roller coaster ride, but despite all of the adversity he's faced, he's still managed to put up impressive numbers and show us glimpses of what he can do on the court. As Zion Williamson continues to grow and improve as a player, it's clear that his incredible dunks will remain a consistent part of his game. It's been an incredible ride so far, and we can't wait to see what else he has in store for us. As we've seen, Charles Barkley's message is clear. Respect Zion Williamson, his hard work and dedication, and stop making jokes about his size. Now, over to you. What do you think about Charles Barkley's advice on Zion Williamson and overweight jokes? Comment down below. If you enjoyed this post, don't forget to like and subscribe.